Hi, welcome to my channel. My name's Kat, and today we're gonna be doing this escape puzzle. So this is the second one I'm doing so far, and this one is called Desolated City. So it is still going to be 368 pieces, similarly to this one, which was the laboratory. And one thing that I noticed already off the bat that was different between this puzzle and that puzzle is the back. There is some small things about the age and that you have to solve the mystery, how many people can play and all that stuff. This one actually has better instructions on the back. So it says, step number 1, assemble the puzzle. Step number 2, search for clues. Step number 3, solve them. Step number 4, find solution pieces. Step number 5, create your escape. This would have been so much more helpful to get on the first puzzle, but that's okay. Now I know, and these are definitely good steps to know in the beginning before doing the puzzle. Before we get into the puzzle, I'm gonna also talk about the difficulty. Last time, this difficulty was 2 for the puzzle, while this new one is 3 for the puzzle. So the puzzle is going to be 1 more difficulty level, but I think it's because of how dark the puzzle is. This one's very light, and this one has a lot of plants and stuff, so I think those are the reasons this one's going to be harder. And obviously, like it said before, this one's not the exact picture, so it's really similar to this, but there's some changed elements. For the actual mystery, this one was a 4, and this new one is a 3. I think that's gonna give me some help to solve it easier. I want to be able to solve at least half of the pieces by myself. I think that's my goal for this one, because last time I messed up badly. If you would like to see me solve this one, I will link it right now on the screen and also in the description. I'm also gonna start a playlist officially for this series. I'm probably gonna be switching off between filming this escape puzzle series and the alphabet mystery puzzles. So now that we've finished with that, let's open the box. This envelope is gonna go to the side for now, and we're gonna open it at the end of the video and see if I'm correct with all these assumptions. We're gonna set the scene with the story now. So I'm gonna read this and then we'll get into the puzzle. Desolated city. Bright light, bright sunlight. So bright, so incredibly bright. You had no idea how bright the sun really is. You had always read about it in history books, about how wonderfully bright and warm it shines, but you never could have imagined how beautiful it actually is. For the first time in your life, you're standing on Earth's surface, and you can hardly believe your eyes. The colors, the vastness, and the fantastic brightness. All you have ever known were cramped rooms and hallways indoors that were only dimly lit. There had often been no lights at all for days on end, and you had to find your way in total darkness, but you had gotten used to it. After all, you have never known anything else. You had spent your entire life far beneath Earth's surface, in huge building together with thousands of other people. That was where you grew up, went to school, and finally began an apprenticeship. And that was how you were ultimately chosen to take on this mission. No one really remembers what actually happened back then, but the supercomputer had predicted a catastrophe that would wipe out life on Earth's surface and make it uninhabitable for many years. Which is why a gigantic building had been built deep beneath Earth's surface, so that a part of mankind would survive. The building had been hermetically sealed off and locked. It had not been possible to open it any earlier. The computer had calculated that it is from this day on that life on the surface is once again possible, and therefore unlocked the doors. And yet the people living underground are extremely afraid to go to the surface. It is due to your exceptional intellectual capacity, your insight for the unknown, and your curiosity that you were selected as the first person to return to the surface. Your mission is to now find evidence that will convince everyone else to join you in starting a new life together on Earth, on your Earth. But it all starts with a mystery. What might convince the others? And then we get onto the puzzle. So similarly to last time, the big letters say, the final answers sealed in envelope, do not open. We already knew that. Put it to the side. I'm not going to read this part because I already read it the last time. It's basically just saying that it's finally time to start and that this time there's 6 mysteries hidden in the puzzle. Last time it was 4. This time it's going to be 6 mysteries in the puzzle. And we have the little QR code in case we need the hint. Let's get into the puzzle. Because there is less than 400 pieces in this puzzle, I decided to only sort the edges out and keep the rest of the pieces on the same pile. I also took out the extra cutouts at this point. I saw some deer pieces and a fox one, so I set those aside too. One edge piece was misplaced, and I had to adjust some of the edge pieces later. I moved the big pile to the side and just started to pull out some new pieces until I was done. Here is the final edge piece. Whew, that felt definitely longer than last time. I'm gonna put the time for both puzzles here. I provided you with some pictures, but I'm not sure how well you can see it because it is kind of hard to see even for me here in person. So I apologize if you were not able to solve it because of how bad the quality was. But hey, we can kind of solve it together still. The first mystery that I wanted to solve was the building tops. That was quite easy to figure out right away just from looking at this poster. It just had the little antenna and then which building order it was gonna be. So from that, I just looked at the tops, I counted all of them. So the first building, I counted 5. So the first digit is 5. Then I counted 2, and finally I counted 1. So the final number I got was 521. Let's go find the piece. Found it. It's this corner one. So our first piece is done. The fact that we found the piece means it's most likely correct. Let's put it to the side and find the next one. So the next thing that stuck out to me the most was the cinema. I saw that there were these faint numbers on the side of each poster on the top right corner. Also on that side next to the posters, there were other parts that were similarly shaped. So I looked at it closer and realized that if you put them together for each color, the yellow one makes a number 6, purple one makes a number 8, and the blue one makes a number 2. The number I got was 682 for the cinema. So let's see if we're correct. Let's find another piece. Found it! So this is the second piece. And for now, I'm just gonna put all of the pieces to the side. We're gonna collect all of them for now, and then at the end, we're gonna make that tiny puzzle that gives the full answer. The next mystery I want to solve is the car numbers. So there's 3 cars, so that's probably gonna be all together. Let me take a look and then get back to you. So this one was pretty simple and it required some math. And at first I tried to add it up and I got the number 1,298, which is too big. All of these numbers are 3-digit numbers, so that was wrong. But then I noticed that this silver car had a line in front of it and I was like, could that be a minus? So then I went back to the blue car and saw that it also had a minus. The orange car didn't have any minus, so I decided to do the orange car number minus the blue and gray car numbers. The number I ended up getting for this third mystery was 452. Let's go and see if this is correct. Found it! Just 3 more pieces. This is the last one that I can see so far, but after I do it, we're gonna look a little closer. So for these big beams, I saw that it says the end is near, and some of the letters are underlined with red, and on the other side, you have ABC, and next to it is 1, 2, 3, so it's saying A is 1, B is 2, so you're just counting the alphabet, basically. So I looked back at the end is near, and I counted what the underlined red letters are. H is 8, D is 4, and E is 5. So my final number that I got from those digits was 845. Let's check if that's correct. Yes! I did better than I thought because I said in the beginning that I wanted to do at least half correct, and this is half was 3 and this is 4, so I got 4 pieces by myself. But now we get to the hard part because I don't know what to do from now. I have looked at a couple different things. I obviously see there's something on the train, and I see that there are some sort of arrows on 3 different places. Now the arrows look like it's pointing at the poster, this orange car, and I don't know what the third one is pointing at. So that's why I'm not really sure what the arrows are gonna mean. I've been working at this for a while now, so it's officially been 15 minutes. If I don't figure it out, I'm gonna look for the hints. So for these numbers, I don't know if there's a reason that they're lined up with the windows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm guessing maybe these windows mean something, but I don't know what. I honestly don't see what I'm supposed to be seeing. So it's officially been 22 minutes. So I'm gonna look up the hints now. Oh. Very, very interesting. So based on this highlight, I get something new in the puzzle that I haven't seen before. That I didn't pay attention to before, basically. So everything I assumed was a mystery was correct. But I didn't notice these 3 windows that were broken at the top. So now that I know that clue, I'm gonna look back, but first I'm gonna check the arrows hint, and then I'm gonna try to solve the windows on my own. Scroll down all the way for the hint. I'm only gonna read as much of the hints as I need to figure it out, so we'll see. I'm gonna just start with reading number 1, and so on until I figure it out. Number 1, take a closer look at the 3 arrows in the picture. I did, okay. That's why I'm looking up the clue. They're all pointing at a common point. Okay, that is a big clue. Okay, I'm gonna get a bunch of pencils and line them up to see where it's pointing. I'll be right back. So, it's pointing at this corner, which is 913. So I'm gonna assume that it's the corner. I am gonna read that hint solution just to see if it's correct then, because I'm really unsure. Okay, let's first read number 3. All 3 arrows point at a specific edge piece. Oh, so it is. So actually it is not that corner, it is the one above it. I'm not gonna read the full thing because it's long, but just the solution piece it says is the upper part of the plant in the lower left corner. It's not the 913 if they're saying, oh, that piece above that piece, so. I think it's trying to say this piece that is above, but I'm not quite sure. So I'm just gonna take that one for now and see. I have figured it out, so I think we're good. I wouldn't count myself figuring out this last one because I did get the hint off of the picture. I would give myself like half a point. So I'm doing pretty well in this puzzle. I think that I was correct that the windows are numbers as well. And up here, there are those 3 windows that they highlighted. And I realized that the cracks on some of the pieces on the windows as well as on the train are the same. I'm just gonna count up what each one of those window pieces is, and I'm gonna put them in that order. I just drew out what those cracks look like because that was the easiest way for me to figure it out. For some reason my brain wasn't computing, okay, which one goes here, which one goes there. So I think it was just the best to just draw it out and put the number next to it so I could see it easier. The final number that I got was 328. This was our last and final piece, and now it is time to assemble. And already looking at the pieces, I think I already know what it is. I already think it's a flower because this one already looks like a flower and so does this one. And actually these were next to each other on the puzzle, so. And if you put this, okay, I'm gonna do it on the table, but I think it's definitely a flower. As you saw, it was really a flower, so I'm really happy. It looks super cute. The only problem I have is this piece. If I didn't look up the hint, I would have never known it was this one out of all of them. There should have been some sort of better way to mark this one because being above the corner piece just made it confusing, and you had to really like look for where that was. And it pointed so close to the corner that I really thought it was the corner piece. Although I would have figured out that it doesn't fit with the other ones and would have probably tried this one instead. Let's open the envelope now and see if we're correct. But I mean, looking at this flower, I feel like we are pretty correct. Let's just make it official. After starting this channel, I realized that I'm not good at opening envelopes. I'm so slow at it. Actually, that wasn't that bad. Okay, the moment of truth. It is the flower. That's exactly what it looks like. And it's so interesting that they really did use that piece. That was also correct. But it doesn't even list it as a piece number because there is no number. I think that's why it's hard. If you didn't realize it on the hint and you didn't know which piece to use, you wouldn't even be able to check from the solution then. Okay, let's quickly read the back. A flower. You hold the proof of earthly life in your hands. Scratch that. I have to go back and hold the actual flower. Okay. Well, I just dropped the earthly, whatever it was saying. For humanity. I should not be the one doing the saving of anything or missions. Okay. Once again, let's read it. A flower. You hold the proof of earthly life in your hands. I do. It's this. It's hard to see it like this. I had a lot of fun with this puzzle, and this time I actually figured a lot of it out by myself. So I'm really proud of that. It definitely was easier than the previous one, like it said here, but also it was some of the experience of actually doing one in the past. So I think if you do one of these, definitely start with the easier ones just to get used to it. And also get the box that actually gives you the steps too, if you can. Let me know in the comments below if there's a specific one in this series that you would like to see next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!